In this video we come up with creative solutions to keep us nice and warm in the Arctic. We are going to test the diesel heater, which will be placed on the outside of the car. A grille cover is made, the bed is getting finalized, and we're putting it all together for our departure.
The car is a little bit fuller than I expected.
But first, in the last video you could see that I had some technical difficulties starting the car. And it's a little worrying. If it's already breaking down at -2, while in the Arctic it will be -40. Luckily I got some free roadside assistance included with the car when I bought it, so let's call in some assistance. Since the issue wasn't that obvious, it was time to connect the fault code reader. The car was running again, but it was clear the fuel pump needed replacing, so I ordered a new one. And while that is on the way, we can quickly take the last steps to finalize the bed for our departure. By now the new fuel pump had arrived, but before we are going to install it in the car, we're going to make a start with carpeting the bed. Previously I had messed up, so before starting to work on the bigger parts, I tried doing a smaller part first. Later in this video you see me discover some interesting things, and I'm going to test the coolant to see how low in temperature it can go before it freezes. But first we're going to replace the broken fuel pump. If you look carefully, you can see the old rubber gasket is still on the fuel pump when I take it out. But now I couldn't get the new pump to fit properly inside of the tank. It took me over an hour to realize that the new rubber gasket should not be placed on the new fuel pump, but instead be placed on the fuel tank, before lowering the new fuel pump inside the tank. With everything back in place, the question lingered, would it start, or had I overlooked something? That was incredibly satisfying, while at the same time saved me a decent sum of money. Previously, we cut some big wooden boards to pieces, fitted the boards in the car, and have now almost finalized the bed, which is, hopefully, going to keep us nice and warm in the Arctic. And while I handle this, I'd love to hear your road trip experiences in the comment section below. And after doing all of this for the first time, this doesn't look too bad at all. Since I got the car running again, I went ahead and put on some new winter tires and filled up the tank for our departure. Moving on, it's time to put in place the hinges for the armrest. Next, to make the armrest fully functional, we're going to add some support. Now that everything's finished, the only thing left to do is making sure we don't freeze to death. Before first use, I carefully inspected the diesel heater. I taped an open connector to protect it against moisture. I zip tied the unsecured fuel lines and used sealant to cover a sharp screw near a cable. I purchased a 500 watt power station to power the diesel heater, which should be sufficient to let it run all night. And as the 12 volt DC output wasn't sufficient, I used an AC to DC inverter to power the heater. It soon started blowing air and the fuel pump started ticking. Next, we'll fill it up with diesel for a full test, but first we need to figure out how to direct the hot air from the heater into the car. After cutting the board to the right size, I fitted the plywood to the car. To shield the plywood from rain and snow, and to keep the cold at bay, I wrapped it in insulating bubble wrap. With that out of the way, it's time to fill up the diesel heater and fire it up. It's a little noisy, but other than that, it seems to work like it should. Now, there are only two little things to do before we can leave, which is testing the coolant and making sure it gets up to temperature more quickly. Somewhere between -34 and -40, so that's going to be interesting. The grill cover limits airflow to the engine when driving, ensuring it heats up faster and stays at the right working temperature more effectively in Arctic conditions. And with that, we've wrapped up our 2-month preparation phase, officially kicking off our journey to North Cape. It was raining all day, so I was unable to properly record the loading of the car, but
the car is a little bit fuller than I expected. Not sure about how I'm going to sleep, but
this is a nightmare. It's horrible, this first night.